What's up, YouTube? What's going on? It's your boy, the Ultimate B-Man, and I am here today on October 31st, 2011 to tell you guys Happy Halloween. So, I figure instead of doing like everybody else is doing, which is talking about zombie movies, slasher flicks, and everything in between that, I figure I'll talk about the one monster that did not get mentioned that much this October. And if you look behind me, it's pretty obvious on which monster I'm talking about. Now, I don't know why they try to avoid talking about him or not. I don't know. But I figured somebody's got to stand up for the big guy. Or somebody or somebodies. I'm pretty sure a lot of people made videos about him by now. But I figured I'd be one of the millions and millions and millions of guys who made videos about him. So here we go. This October Halloween video features the big G, Godzilla himself, and pretty much what I'm going to talk about is some of my favorite Godzilla movies and why I like them and what do I think about the upcoming film. So I'm going to do these three little topics, then I'll leave you guys alone. Anyways, first up, I guess we'll start with why I like Godzilla. Well, I think why I like Godzilla. That's a good question. Godzilla is one of the very first monsters I officially actually saw as a little kid that I actually liked. Unlike Dracula, the werewolf, Frankenstein, and them, they were cool and all. But the thing about Godzilla, he was like 400 feet tall, destroying buildings and knocking things over. Now, don't get me wrong, there were plenty of other monsters that were also doing that, such as like Reptilicus or that thing from 20,000 Phantoms or something like that. You know, those monsters were already doing it. All those Ray Harryhausen monsters were doing it during that time. But Godzilla, for some dumb reason, was one of those monsters that was just so unique and made him different. I mean, sure, he was just like an oversized dinosaur dragon thing that was breathing fire, but as you've seen over the years, and if you're a big Godzilla fan as much as I am, or if you even ever heard of him, you could tell that he was different from all the other monsters, considering how many movies, how many toys and accessories that came out as throughout the years of his career, you know. And of course, it was a guy in a rubber suit during the very first Godzilla 1954 film. So, you know, it wasn't like puppetry or nothing like that. So you didn't need to like cut it out or nothing like that. But all of the stuff that took to making that very first Godzilla film is what actually got me hooked up on him. I mean, the little toy tanks, the buildings getting demolished, and just that oversized giant Godzilla rubber suit. I mean, I started liking Godzilla so much. I mean, I tend to say this, but I think Godzilla is the reason why I kind of got into art and stuff, and he was like the very first thing I actually tried to draw. And as the years go by, I eventually got better and better at drawing Godzilla. So I think I have a lot to say thanks to Godzilla for helping me out with that. I guess I don't know. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Anyways, like I said, Godzilla is the king of the monsters, and yet for some dumb reason this Halloween I didn't hear like not a single word of him or see any commercials about him. I don't know if I had been looking on the wrong channels or what, or I had to look them up, but shouldn't have to. Everybody should be able to pay tribute to all the giant monsters, including Godzilla. I mean, he's the king of them. I mean, sure, there's the zombies, there's the vampires and the werewolves, but we get enough of that on a daily basis as it is now. There's so many vampire Halloween movies. Where's my giant monsters at? All on Sci-Fi. But half of them ain't nowhere near as compared to the king of them all. And plus, with all of his associates, his friends, and his enemies that back him up on the side, and all the monsters who kind of pretty much copied off from him or were alongside with him, you know, such as like Ultraman and Gamera and whatnot. All those other monsters also, they give thanks to this guy right here. I mean, he's the strongest monster of them all, and yet he just didn't get any tribute this year. But hopefully maybe next year, maybe somebody actually send a note to the broadcasting system, places out there and let them know, broadcast some Godzilla movies on AMC. I know there's zombie movies and stuff like that that are real scary, ooh, but you know, Godzilla is just about as scary. I mean, if Godzilla was real, dude, people would be scared out their boots to go out swimming, hiking, or anything, just to see a giant monster just come out of the woods or out from the side of the mountain and just step on you. It would be a frightening moment indeed. And I like Godzilla a lot. I really do. I mean, he's a real great monster. He's just awesome. I mean, some of his powers are great. I mean, he has atomic breath. That trademark roar he's got is very intimidating. And he's just all around just powerful. The tail, just the design of Godzilla is really, really great, and I love it. I mean, it never changes. It tends to stay exactly the way I like it. And I really do like the way Godzilla looks and the way he acts and everything. It's just what a giant monster, when it comes to your city, that's what a giant monster does, and that's just what Godzilla does in every movie, regardless of whether he's the good guy or the bad guy. He's always toppling a building or something, or even if he's in the middle of the woods, he's just watch out for Bambi and automatically just steps on him. And just y'all should know that. Let's see. Let's go on to some of my favorite Godzilla movies. I think I can give you guys my a quick top 10. Quick top 10 of my favorite Godzilla movies. Favorite Godzilla movies. Let's see. Well, I guess at number 10, I guess I go with Destroy All Monsters, which was a real good movie. It featured all the Godzilla monsters, but excuse me, the downside to it is that you know, it's just that the whole movie was wrapped around the human beings rather than the monsters. But it was great to see all of Godzilla's, you know, all of the monsters from Godzilla's, you know, roster just coming in the one big movie and just destroying buildings on the U.S., on Europe, and, you know, and whatnot. Not just Japan. I mean, all the monsters being controlled by these aliens and getting thrown all over the place. And then the final battle between them and King Ghidorah was great. It was awesome. I mean, that's a real good movie. I like that one. At number 9, I would have to say, let's see, Godzilla versus Mothra was pretty good. I mean, in that movie, Godzilla was just unstoppable. I mean, even though he got beat by Mothra, a giant moth, and her 2 little caterpillar larvae, it still didn't make much sense to see Godzilla just getting beat by like that. But you know, overall, Godzilla was just a powerhouse. He was just a juggernaut. I mean, electricity couldn't stop him. Bullets, tanks, everything could not stop Godzilla in that movie. And if you watch that movie, you could just see just how much powerful he really is. I mean, there's even one scene where the suit got caught on fire, but it was a great effect just to show Godzilla ain't afraid of fire. I mean, I breathe atomic breath. Come on now. That's 10 times hotter than the sun. Let's see, what number am I at? At number 7. Am I at number 7? Yeah, number 7. Or is it 8? Yeah. No, I'm right, 8. I'm off topic. I guess at number 8, if I don't repeat myself by accident saying number 7 is 8, but let's see, number 8 would probably be just thinking, Godzilla vs. Biollante was pretty good. Biollante was a different monster all entirely, and this giant crocodile looking giant plant monster. Godzilla never fought anything like that. I don't think Godzilla's never fought like anything with tentacles and stuff like that. So a giant Phoenix flytrap thing was kind of unique, and kind of sad on how that was only Biolante's only one one moment to shine in a Godzilla film, and that was the only time left. I mean, sure, there was during the '90s Godzilla films, they tend to reference that movie over and over again, and just keep talking about how Biolante's cells went into the sky with Godzilla and stuff like that. So it didn't. I don't know, but yet it would have been nice for them to bring the monster back just for, you know, shits and giggles, you know. Okay, at number 6 would probably be my all-time favorite. One of my favorite, very first Godzilla big monster matches that I actually appreciated was probably Godzilla versus King Kong. Now that movie tended to be very controversial for one reason, because people tend to break that movie down and tend to be like King Kong won, Godzilla won. No, King Kong won. King Kong was the one at the end of the movie who came out of the water. I heard there was 2 different endings to that movie. I don't mean to spoil it for you guys, but it 2 different endings. I only saw one ending, and that's the ending with King Kong coming up out of the water at the end and Godzilla not showing up. But I don't get it. I don't know. I tend to say Godzilla won because we all know King Kong couldn't handle Godzilla. And at the fact that that stupid idea, which I tend to say is stupid, Godzilla being afraid of electricity was dumb, because in the 1954 movie, he went through high voltage electrical wires, no problem. And then there was Godzilla versus Mothra, where he you know, where he had electricity just shooting at him in his dome piece, and still yet he kept on moving. So it don't make sense. Godzilla being weak against electricity, no, that's dumb. You know, I heard that movie was supposed to be Godzilla versus Frankenstein, which I don't think that would have made any sense, but I don't know. I'm not gonna get into it. Okay, where we at? That's number 5. Number 4 would probably be Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, the first one, the very first Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla movie, where Godzilla and Mechagodzilla meet, and the aliens are creating a robotic clone to make Godzilla look bad and at the same time kill him. I like that whole thing. The King Caesar coming out of the rocks and stuff like that, the little song, even though it went on forever. But it was great. It was still good. What is the next up? Okay, we're up to our final 3 movies, and these are my 3 favorites. And these are just off my dome piece. I mean, this could go in any order. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a lot of other Godzilla movies I would love to fit in here. Like, my top 3 would be a head-to-head battle. Would probably be Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, the 90s Godzilla versus King Ghidorah film, which was great. That one had Godzilla, you seeing Godzilla's past and everything. It was just awesome to see Godzilla and King Ghidorah go one-on-one in the 90s, and the music and the battles and the sound effects and the special effects was looking great. Mecha King Ghidorah coming in at the end. What a twist. Never saw that coming. And next to that on the 3rd list would be Godzilla, King Ghidorah, and Mothra, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack, which was just great. I mean, just to see the a new Millennium looking Godzilla coming in and taking on 3 monsters, even though Baragon didn't get his name mentioned in the title. It was nice to see that, you know, Godzilla took out 3 monsters plus the military. That just showed on how badass he was. I mean, it's not all the time that, you know, it's not that we don't see Godzilla be a badass in every one of his movies. It's just that this is the one movie that established that he was a beast. He was an unstoppable force to be reckoned with, and people better recognize. It was great. And my last 2, to be quick about it, the last 2 movies I would say would be Godzilla. The second one would be Godzilla and Final Wars. I like Final Wars, even though it was kind of goofy and silly. I like Final Wars, and of course Godzilla 1954. So sorry if any of those movies weren't in the right order that you don't think I deserve to be. Sorry. a little bit on time here, but check in for part 2. There will be a part 2 of this, so hang tight, guys.